Good evening, dear students. Um, Given that we won't have class today, I wanted to record and going over all my presentations in regards to composition. I found one which I made some weeks ago in regards to the elementary principles of composition, which is something that I believe all of you should remember and keep in mind if you want to be absolutely correct writers. It doesn't really matter if you want to be a teacher or if you want to be a translator or whatever it is you want to do in life with this career. You should know this and be able to write correctly is one of the greatest skills that you may develop in learning a foreign language. So I just wanted to go over with you on some of the concepts that you really need to keep in mind in order to be able um, to keep your writing correct and always be on top of things when you are writing. Now, remember that to make the paragraph the unit of your composition. Every time that we write, we must remember I have to keep my smallest unit tight and well written. What is the smallest unit of a larger essay? Of course, it is your paragraph. A paragraph should deal with one topic, okay? So if you want to talk about why Costa Rica is the greatest country to visit, then your paragraph must talk about all the reasons that you want to give why Costa Rica is the best country to visit. Because reason number one, reason number two, reason number three, and number four, and number five, as many as you have. One paragraph, one topic, one complete thought. Remember, one paragraph, one topic, a complete thought. In most cases, a subject is going to be subdivided into different topics, and each topic is going to be the subject of one paragraph. When you do this, you are helping the reader. You're helping the reader understand actually the development of your ideas. So I'm going to develop my thesis statement in regards to points 1, 2, 3, and 4 or 5. Point number 1 is a paragraph, point number 2 is another paragraph, and so on. The reader has a much easier time discovering your ideas structured in this way. That's why you have to make and polish each one of your paragraphs carefully. The extent of this subdivision will vary with the length of your composition. Now, you're at this level in which we are in this point of your career, you're expected to produce more and more and more. And at this point, you need to examine the precision of each one of your paragraphs. This one is well composed. Let's move to the next one. This one is well composed. Let's move to the next one. And so on, and so on, and so on. Each paragraph has to be polished. And this is one skill that I would like you to learn, to polish what you write. Is my topic sentence in accordance with my thesis? Yes, it is. Is every one of my supporting sentences in agreement with my topic sentence and with my thesis statement? Yes, all of them are. Perfect. And so on. This is an exercise in which you have to really get into to make the paragraph the unit of your composition. One by one by one by one. Each paragraph should be in absolute agreement with your outline, and your outline should be in complete agreement with your essay. And every topic sentence should refer back to the thesis statement, precisely in the order in which you put the idea in your thesis statement. Costa Rica is the best place to visit. Reason number one, reason number two, Reason number three. Your first paragraph should deal with reason number one. Your second paragraph should deal with reason number two. And your third paragraph with reason number three. Okay? This is one thing that you need to remember because I continue to see a great deal of misconceptions in regards to the order that you should keep. Exact correspondence between outline, essay, thesis statement, topic sentences, supporting sentences, everything has to go back and forth precisely. Yes? Everything has to be a match, exactly. As if you were putting a puzzle together, it functions exactly in the same way. Yes? Every piece of the puzzle is there to be a match, an exact match to each other. Okay? Now, um, remember that formulating the topic sentence is a delicate matter. You should take some good time in designing the topic sentence for each one of your paragraphs. Um, do not disregard the creation of a good topic sentence because the topic sentence is going to tell us what the paragraph is all about. So if you want to say Costa Rica is the greatest place to visit, okay. Reason number one, because of its great nature. Reason number two, because it has, for example, it has some great research facilities for nature lovers or for experts, whatever reason. Third, it has very important museums, which we don't, but we have some very nice museums, but you know. So your first topic sentence should deal with the natural beauties of Costa Rica, which was the first reason that you gave in your thesis statement. Okay? So the paragraph is going to begin with that topic sentence. Costa Rica has the greatest natural beauties that most tourists enjoy, for example. And you are going to end in conformity with the beginning, okay? The object is to help the reader gain clarity and understanding of what you're writing, okay? The most useful kind of paragraph is one in which the topic sentence is going to come at or near the beginning. The succeeding sentences explain, establish, or develop the statement made in the topic sentence, and the final sentence either emphasizes the thought of the topic sentence or states some important consequence. This is it. Topic sentence, supporting sentences, and then examples or evidence, and finally, concluding sentence. 1, 2, 3. Topic sentence first, supporting sentences, examples of evidence, final sentence or concluding sentence. Okay? This is the structure, and it's going to help the reader in gaining clarity about what you're writing. The use of the active voice. Of course, that in writing is usually much more preferable to be direct and vigorous than using the passive voice. Um, for example, saying, I shall always remember my visit to Boston. It's better than saying, my visit to Boston will always be remembered by me. The first sentence is much more direct. The later sentence is less direct, less bold, less concise. Okay, we should always aim for concise and direct. It doesn't mean that you should discard the use of the passive voice. Sometimes it's just not convenient, but sometimes it is. For example, saying the dramatists of the Restoration are little steamed today. Okay, but always try to prefer writing in active voice. Also remember, use positive statements. Make definite assertions in your writing. Avoid bland, colorless, hesitating, non-committal language. Use the word not as a means of denial or antithesis, never as a means of evasion. So you may say he was not often, very often on time. He usually came late. Okay? Instead, denying actually makes it more difficult to understand. No, try to use much more direct approach and use it in positive form. Use, like I said, specific, concrete language. Prefer general, specific to general, definite to vague, concrete to abstract. Instead of saying a period of unfavorable weather set in, you could say it rained every day of the week. Okay? Much more definite, concrete, specific. Okay? Uh, Try to omit hasty words. Okay? Vigorous writing is concise. A sentence should not contain unnecessary words. A paragraph should not contain unnecessary sentences. And for that reason, you are going to be required to make sentences short, to avoid a lot of details, and try to treat the subjects only in outline, but that he make every word tell. So instead of saying in a hasty manner, say hastily. His story is a strange one. His story is strange. Okay? Try to omit everything that is needless, that makes your expressions much more wordy and difficult to understand. One thing that you need to be careful of is to actually mind the rule of avoiding the succession of loose sentences. Loose sentences are those of a particular type, that is, those consisting of two coordinate clauses, the second one introduced by a conjunction or a relative. Now, although single sentences of this type may be acceptable, a series soon becomes monotonous. So a skilled writer will try to use connectors, but much more frequently to use who, which, when, where, and so on. Okay. If you find that you have written a series of sentences of the type, you should recast enough to remove the monotony. Replace them with simple sentences, sentences of two clauses joined by a semicolon, by periodic sentences of two clauses. Remember, in general, whichever represents best the real relationships between the different ideas is best. Remember, English composes differently than Spanish does. So we should always keep that into consideration, the way that we refer to all these, the creation of ideas. Remember to coordinate ideas in a similar way. The principle of parallel construction requires the expressions of similar content and function to be outwardly similar. Okay, so try to recognize the likeness of content and function, as in the examples on the screen. We need to give our reader the impression that we are giving certainty about the events that we are narrating. Okay, so instead of looking undecided or timid, we are going to look, much more bold, like we know what the point is. Okay. This in order to be able to express our ideas correctly in English, and also keep a close relation of the words together, meaning that you have chosen the correct relationship between the words. And in summaries, try to keep one single tense. Okay, in summarizing the action, you should always use present tense. When you're summarizing a poem, a story, use present. If the summary is in the present tense, always express in perfect tense. If it is in the past, in past tense. So when you're relating something, try to keep it together. All right, I hope this was able to help you a little bit. Thank you very much for listening.